Hey everybody, welcome back to day 2, a date of Challenge Roth. My name is Bob Babbitt, and we're brought to you by HOKA, Fly Human Fly, Master Spas, deboer wetsuits, Outrigger, Kona Resort and Spa, stay longer, save more. And our Challenge Athletes Foundation, our next guest, Mr. Matt Hanson. The thing that hit me the most when I was looking through Matt's stuff in 2025, 2:30 marathon at Cairns. What the hell? 2:30:21. That's unbelievable.
Well, yeah, when you bike that poorly, you better do something special on the run to end up in the mix.
You know, it's so funny. 4:30:59 nowadays. I mean, Mark Allen, when he won Ironman, his fastest ever time was 4:28. Right now, if you're not doing like 4:10, 4:15, you're off the back.
Yeah, exactly. And that one, the winds got me a little bit. And I've struggled in windier courses all my career. I've a fracture in the spine, and so things just lock up.
Staying in that.
Yeah, and that's what happened after the first hour. I just kind of lost any sort of ability to put power on the pedals and stay in aero. So it was frustrating, but I was just trying to stay focused and get off the bike as quickly as I could, which wasn't quick enough. Matthew Marquardt had a phenomenal day.
Yes, he did.
Had a little bit of quite a bit of adversity himself coming out of
cramping.
He's a smart kid and was able to keep his head in the game and trust that it was going to come around. And I guess I was able to do the same. He was able to come around a little bit quicker than I did. But yeah, got onto the run, was feeling pretty good, and so I just decided I had nothing to lose. Getting off the bike in 16th, you don't get paid for that. So I decided to get off and just not look at my watch at all and
really
just listen to the body. I didn't look at the watch until the halfway mark. And then I had a what did I just do moment, because I think I was through just under 113.
You were just on 113.
And I was like, okay, well, I feel good, so just go with it. And then I stayed on pace for the third lap and then struggled a little bit the fourth loop. And then the last 2 miles got a little ugly.
Yeah.
The pace fell off pretty quickly there. But, I was able to – I thought I was going to be able to run up to fourth, ended up running up to fifth.
Nothing wrong with that.
Better. It made the trip a little bit easier on the way home. Finishing fifth rather than 16th.
Yeah. And then Kona. So you ended up fifth in the Ironman Pro Series.
Yep.
And that's a nice 50K.
Yeah.
Nice bonus at the end of the year.
Yeah. Good way to set the pay for travel and most of your expenses for this year. So anything we do this year hopefully is profit. So. It made it so I could be a little bit more aggressive this year with my race schedule,
right,
and willingness to travel. If a race goes poorly and you paid to work, it's a lot easier in normal years to do that within the United States. You can make your whole schedule in the U.S., but I wanted to chase the Pro Series again, and I really wanted to do Challenge Roth, and that meant trying to start my year off in South Africa. Fortunately got sick, and that meant adding Cairns.
Right.
So I've been to South Africa, Australia.
Oh my God.
And now here, and then Lake Placid in a couple weeks after this. So I'll be due for a break after that.
In Kona, you were like 30th off the bike.
Yeah, I was pretty far back.
And ran your way into 10th.
Yeah. I mean, there things pack up quite a bit on the bike, and I was in the second group at the top of Hawi, and I was riding harder than I should have been, and so the plan all along was to try to stay with that group until the top of Hawi.
Yeah.
Tell them goodbye, and do my own thing, and then just trust that the race was going to come back to me. And it took a lot of trust, especially on a day that was really fast. There was 12 guys under 8.
Yeah.
No, I think it was all 15.
Well, 15 guys under 8.
Yeah, I think you had to go under 8 to get a paycheck there, and so it finally about 20 miles in, I was starting to make bigger gains, but I think that was pretty far back until we got to the energy lab. Then I started picking them off, and that out and back, seeing their body language.
I mean, that's what I say. Yeah.
That definitely was. It couldn't have come at a better time. I needed that little kind of energy boost at that point to know that the race was coming back. And of course I would have liked to run a little bit farther up, but finally getting a bowl.
Right.
I'd been there too many times to go empty-handed. So
Getting on
finally
the stage
leaving with a bowl and getting on stage was a win for me. Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, you're 40 years old.
I am.
You've seen this sport change.
I get reminded of that a lot lately.
Because it's a cool age. I remember when Dave Scott came back after not racing for 5 years, came to Kona, he's 40, and got second. And we're like, okay, 40 it's just a number. It doesn't mean anything. You guys, you're running a 230. You weren't running 230 like 5 years ago.
No. The sport is getting faster, and definitely we're seeing a shift towards younger athletes winning Ironmans a little bit earlier in their career, or going into the full distance earlier in their career,
and not being afraid of anything.
And just and thankfully I've been able to stay somewhat relevant here still this year, and looking forward to seeing if I can get a couple more points up on the series.
Right.
But first we got to focus on this weekend.
So with when you start your season with Ironman South Africa and all that travel, and then come away, you're sick, and you can't race. You're like, oh my God, this it's sort of like you're shoveling now. It's like, okay, I got to figure out something out.
Yeah, and I mean, I had had set out a plan, and with the Pro Series, the good thing is you don't have to think.
Right.
You set out your plan, and that's it, and then. What the saying is, everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face. And unfortunately, I got punched in the face a bit the first race of the year and had to scramble a little bit. So there's definitely a lot of risk with the adjustments that I've made to keep this on the schedule. But I committed to coming here in November, and I'm definitely not. I wouldn't have felt good about not fulfilling that commitment. So happy to be here, and really looking forward.
Have you raced here before?
I've never been here before.
I was going to say, I was like looking back at results. You've done a ton of different Ironman races, but I have not seen. So this is a maiden voyage for you.
It is, and
it's such a cool event.
My wife was here. Got to race here in 2019, I believe, and so I got to.
You got to see
be
it.
A spectator and view the expo environment and view the atmosphere on the bike and the run. So that definitely put I need to get here and race, and
you're not getting any younger.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to do it when I'm at the
I still
top
have
of my
some
game.
tread on the tires, I think.
I think you got a bunch when you're running 230 off the bike,
But hopefully we can go out and put together a good one this weekend. I would have loved to have been a little bit more fresh coming in like the original plan was, but I'm feeling good. The jet lag is slowly fading away, and should be ready to go by Sunday.
So last year, 2024, you win Chattanooga.
Yes.
Getting a win is pretty nice.
Yeah. Last year, I think I definitely surprised myself. If I would have scripted out the beginning of the year, I would have done better in the fulls and not quite as good in the Pro Series 70.3s, but I was able to get a first and a second in 70.3s Pro Series races, both with pretty decent fields. So, and both kind of had to do the work on the run there as well. So, I think I surprised myself a little bit. And, those are probably races that I might have avoided if it weren't for the Pro Series.
Right.
In 2023, it wasn't a great racing year for me. I had some podiums, but not great results. And so the Pro Series was definitely the shot in the arm last year that I needed. It kind of gave me a new spark and a bit of energy and something to chase. And it also gives a reason to race every race really hard. Whereas if you're kind of in no man's land on the run, there's still a lot of reason to keep the pedal on the gas, whether you're in fifth or in first.
Right.
Just for either you're getting more points, or if you're leading, then you're taking points away from your competitors. So it's just a new element to racing, which is a lot of fun.
Well, and winning again, because I'm looking back, I don't think you'd had a win since 2022 Ironman Des Moines.
Des Moines, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So 2 years without a win, you're going, okay, obviously you had great races, but you always want to be on the top step.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a win every year of my career except for 2023, and so that stung a bit to not find the tape that year, and so still chasing that win this year, but we'll see what's in the cards for Sunday.
And again, there's really no reason that this is a good course for you.
On paper, it should be. So just have to go out and try to execute a clean day. It looks like it's going to be a little bit cooler temps than it was yesterday, at least.
Right.
Winds are going to be a little bit higher than I would prefer, but it's the same for everyone, and then that'll cool us down on the run. So
Right.
yeah.
Well, the fact that it's windy and we know the climbs are there,
Yep.
people will be a little fatigued going into that run, which fits right into your wheelhouse.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. There's a lot of new people or guys who are doing this one for their first full, and
Yes.
it's always a bit of a wild card. Sometimes that ignorance is bliss pays off, and you don't know what to expect, so you just hammer it and you get away with it, especially on a flatter course like this.
Right.
There's a lot of kind of the old guard here that have been around the block a few times and been, a fair number of them have been successful on this course in the past.
Right.
With and then you've got a number of people who are here for the first time. So it should be a lot of fun. It's hard to predict how, especially on the men's side, how things are going to shake out, and you just got to go and execute.
So do you have many of your athletes you coach? Many athletes racing here?
Yeah, I think I have 4 here, which for
for a European
mainly
race,
for a European race is good, and I'm looking forward to. I'll have a few coffees with them. Hopefully not too much caffeine, but we'll have a few meetings with them here the next couple days. Make sure they're all sorted, and yeah.
How do you balance that when you're here to win a race?
Yeah. At
the same time, you want to make sure your clients have their best day.
Yeah, I've never really struggled with that too much. For most races, I kind of like the distraction of not thinking about you can't spend all day thinking about your race.
And you've done enough racing.
Yeah.
It's not like a surprise what
exactly.
those days are leading
So
in.
I get here a little bit earlier than most age groupers are going to. I get a chance, like I rode the whole loop of the course and was out there again this morning. And
what'd you think of it?
It's a beautiful course. The road surfaces are great. The hills come at good times to break things up a little bit. And there's definitely some really fast sections out there. So it's definitely all the hype that it's been played up to be.
When you were here in 19 for your wife's race, did you go out on Solar Hill?
I was there, spectating. I didn't even bring a bike, I don't think, when I came out. We planned it, so I raced right before we came here. And so I was kind of on the mid-season break at that point. And so I got to just come and be Sherpa. And she's out here with Olivia, which international travel with the 15-month-old was, for the first time, was a little bit rough. But she's done a little bit better each night. So hopefully, by the time Saturday night rolls around, she lets us sleep a bit more.
How have you adapted to the fact that you are 40? And I remember talking. It was Rod Dixon years ago. He says, "Hey, I can do the same workouts I did when I was in my 20s. I just have to take more time off in between."
Yeah, I haven't had to change too much yet. Thankfully, I've been recovering well. I think you have to be more mindful on the mobility work, more mindful on just making sure you're keeping track of the blood tests and all those things, just making sure you're doing all the little things to be proactive rather than reactive.
Right.
And I think learning to listen to the body comes a little bit with age as well. You just know when you've been hurt enough or you've had enough overuse injuries that you can kind of hopefully gain a little bit of patience from those experiences. When they start to come on, you actually tell your coach what's going on rather than just, it'll be fine. Yeah. Have
you had the perfect race?
I don't think so. I think as athletes we're always chasing that. I think I've come close a couple times. I think Texas in 2018 was pretty close. Daytona in 2020 was pretty close.
That's a $70K payday, I think.
Yeah, and both were. I took the win in Texas, was second in Daytona. I'm always chasing the perfect race. I'd love for it to come out of World Championships for once.
Or here.
Yeah, or here. If it comes, I'm not going to shy away from it. Maybe I'll look back later in my career and say, yeah, that was everything I had. But I walked away from Texas in 2017 being, I have no idea how I could have possibly gone faster, and then we went 15 minutes faster the next year. So, it's just, you're always chasing perfection,
right?
And that's what keeps you waking up every morning. And as soon as you kind of lose that hunger for that perfect race, even if it's not the same speed as it was in the past, as I get a little bit older, if I can just chase that perfect execution and know that perfect execution is going to put me at the pointy end, then there's a reason to get up and train every morning.
Well, that's Mark Allen used to talk about getting 100% out of whatever you got.
Yes.
You're 80% that day, your back is stiff, but you got 100% out of yourself.
Yes.
And ran a 2:30 marathon, and you walk away at 5th place, and you know you did as well as you could have done.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, like you said, the race is getting faster. I mean, Frankfurt last week was a phenomenal
crazy.
show.
Yeah.
And yeah, so it goes to show that there is no, if you want to win races, there's no room for weakness.
No.
And it's really hard to, have something go terribly wrong, which is what made Matthew's performance in Cairns so impressive. To be able to stay in and put it together after that. But yeah, you even if maybe winning on a day might not be in the cards for you, you can still go out, have your best day possible, and find yourself on the podium or find yourself in the mix.
Love it. Matt, as always, thank you so much for taking time, man.
Always good to be back.
Always a pleasure to chat with you. And I can't wait to talk to you about this after you get the experience of racing.
For sure.
I love it.
For sure.
Matt Hanson has been our guest, one of the best runners in our sport. Hold on, everybody. We will be right back.